So here what you can see is that which of the following contributed to the financial strain on the Mauryan Empire? So was it lack of coinage? Was it grants to Buddhist monks? Was it absence of taxation, or was it a small army size? Now just look at it. Which of the following contributed to financial strain? That means because of which of the following there was financial stress on the Mauryan Empire. So was it lack of coinage? Obviously not. The Mauryans, they were urban people. They had effective markets. So obviously there not a lack of coinage. Coins will be there. Okay, so the statement itself is wrong. Then absence of taxation. Right now we have seen that no, the Mauryans, they would have taxation, right? So it is not going to be that there is no taxation. All right, that so the statement itself is wrong. And did they have a small army size? No, it is contrary to the scenarios that were there. So this is also wrong. So what do we have as a remaining option? Elimination. So it is grants to the Buddhist monks. So that is going to be the answer here, that it was because of these that huge amounts of money when it was given to the religious purposes. So because of that, what happened is that the money that was initially utilized for welfare or for strengthening of the army or for administration, now it was allocated somewhere else, because of which there was a financial strain on the Mauryan economy. So this is one another aspect. Okay, now let us move to the next question. So here just go through the 21st question and try pause it and solve the question. Pause and solve it. So here when we talk on the 21st question, so what can we understand here is that who issued the first long inscription in Chaste Sanskrit? Now this is a very common thing that has been there whenever you are studying. So Chaste Sanskrit means pure form of Sanskrit. So this was, when was the first time that pure form of Sanskrit long inscription was done? Prior to this, short inscriptions were done in the pure Sanskrit, but for the first time long inscription was done when? Okay, so is it going to be during Gondophanes, Rudradaman I, Menander, or Kanishka? So this was a factual question, and it was during the time period of Rudradaman I, who was the Western Satrap ruler, that is the Shaka ruler who ruled in the Gujarat area. And for the first time it was in the Girnar inscription that it is going to be there, the first long Chaste Sanskrit inscription that is going to be done during his point of time. All right, so that is there. Read the 22nd question. This is also a factual question. What we understand, that which Central Asian group introduced the Satrap system? Now when we talk about this, okay, so all of these are the foreigners who had come to India, and all of them, they were from near the region of Central Asia. Okay, so Indo-Greeks, they were west from Central Asia. Shakas were from Central Asia. Parthians were from the Persia and north of Persia, and Kushans were also from Central Asia. So when we talk about a Satrap system, the Satrap system, it was the governance. Okay, the governance system wherein there is going to be governors. Okay, governors who are going to be ruling a particular province, and these provinces, they were known as Satrap. These provinces that were created in the kingdom, they were known as Satrap. Okay, so this system, it was introduced by the Shakas. Okay, so the Satrap system, it was introduced by the Shakas at that point of time. So this is what we understand. Okay, so you need to keep that in mind. Now this was a very easy question, a very factual question, wherein there was that there will be a governor who will be known as a Satrap, and he will be ruling his Satrapi, that is the province. The next one is, read the question, solve it. So here, what can we how can we solve it up? That which of the following rulers were contemporaries or adversaries of the Satavahanas? Which of the rulers were contemporaries or adversaries of Satavahanas? Now, when you look at the diagram that generally of the post-Mauryan time period, we know that there are certain outsiders and there are certain insiders. Okay, that means indigenous dynasties. So outsiders, they are going to be the Indo-Greeks, then there was the Shakas, then there is going to be the Parthians, and finally there were the Kushans. And at that point of time, there is going to be the Sunga, then there is going to be the Kanva, then there is going to be the Satavahanas. So the Satavahanas, they were generally from 1st century BC till the 2nd century AD. Okay, so they were there during this point of time. And during this point of time, what do we see is that there were all of these dynasties. So Nahapan of Shashtrakarta Shaharta lineage. So this, he was a person who belonged to the Shakas. Okay, so all of these people, they were contemporary to the Satavahanas. So Nahapan, he belonged to the Shakas, so he was a contemporary. Rudradaman I belonged to the Western Shatrap. Shatrap means Sakas. Okay, Shatrap means Shaka, so even he is there. Ashoka of the Mauryan dynasty is pre-Mauryan and prior to the Satavahana, so he is not going to be there. And Harshvardhan, he is going to be during the time period of 7th century AD. Okay, and Satavahanas are not going to be there till that point of time. So that is why even he is not the answer. So here what can we understand is that the answer, it is going to be the particular 1 and 2. So A is going to be the answer. So that is how you have to, with whatever limited knowledge that you have, you can very well solve such questions. You just have to keep in mind that where you can apply such things. Okay. So the next one is going to be the 24th one. Try solving it, pause and solve it up. So now when we talk here, the answer, which of the following regions were under the Satavahana control at their peak? So it is going to be Malwa, Kathiawad, Bengal, Karnataka and Upper Godavari. Okay. So when we talk about the Satavahanas, if you might have looked at the map of the, where the Satavahanas have control. Okay. Means in my sessions, I generally talk on the map, on the mapping analysis. So here what do we know is that in the maps, the Satavahanas, they were the people who were in the Deccan, means who were created in the Deccan area. However, over the years, they expanded in here. They are going to expand in here. Okay. So they are going to be expanding here. So when we talk about Malwa, so Malwa, it is going to be here in this Rajasthan MP belt. So yes, they had control there. In the Kathiawad, that is, they defeated the Nahapan. So Nahapan, he was there in the Gujarat area, and Kathiawad is in Gujarat. Yes. Bengal, it was extreme here. So they never had control over Bengal. Karnataka is here, so they are already having control over Karnataka. Godavari is also here in the Maharashtra belt, so they are also having here. So 1, 2, 4 and 5 is going to be the answer. They never had control on Bengal at that point of time. Okay, so that is going to be there. Now, the next one is, with reference to the ancient Indian mythology, Karimnagar and Nalgoda, they are famous for what? So try solving it up, guys. Try solving it. So here when we talk, see, it is very much even in today's time, if you just look at the mapping and the current affairs, there you are going to see a lot of times there is the news of the particular Karimnagar. Okay, so this particular Karimnagar, when we talk in today's time, it is going to be there in the Telangana. Initially, it was there in the Andhra Pradesh area. And Karimnagar, if you see a lot of steel activities happening in the Karimnagar area. Alright, so there is transportation networks that have been created in that. So if you belong to the transportation sector, or if you have referred to the NCRTs in the transportation geography, so there you might have solved it up. So here, what do we know? The Karimnagar and Nalgoda, they are famous for the iron ore production. Not silk, not terracotta. Silk was generally not found in the Andhra Pradesh area. Terracotta, it is, but obvious in the minority level, it would have been there. But here they are talking about metallurgy. Okay, so in the context of ancient Indian metallurgy, you just remove this, you are left with two options. So even with logic, you can eliminate it. Silk is not associated with metallurgy, remove. Terracotta, remove. Iron, tool production, and coin minting. Okay, so from both of these you had to select. So Karimnagar is known for iron. In the context of ancient Indian trade, Bharuch was what? What was Bharuch? Try thinking it up, guys. Try thinking it up. So here when we talk in the context of ancient Indian trade, they are talking about trade, right? Bharuch was what? A center for Buddhist learning. Is center for Buddhist learning associated with trade? No, eliminated. Silk producing town? Can be. Capital for Satavahanas, was it the capital of Satavahanas or was it Pratisthana or Paithan? Okay, so it is not going to be there. And above that, they are talking about capital, but the question is asking on trade, so it is not going to be there. So you just need to connect with the question also. So A and C is eliminated. A key port for Indo-Roman trade. So from silk and key port, which of the aspect is associated with trade? Obviously port, right? Even if you get stuck in two options, just think that which is associated with the statement, and that is your answer. So port is associated with trade, silk is not associated with trade. Okay. The next one is, with reference to the origin of the Gupta Empire, which of the following statements are correct? The Guptas were possibly of Kshatriya origin. The original kingdom included parts of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Early Gupta coins and inscriptions have been predominantly found in Madhya Pradesh. Which of the following statements are correct? Which of the following statements are correct? Okay. Pause and solve this up. Okay, so here when we talk on this particular aspect, just see, when we talk here, the question is asking which of the following statements are correct associated with Gupta Empire along with the in the context of origin. Now if you might have seen, okay, so you might have seen that Samudragupta was called as the Lichavi Dauhitra. Okay, so here that was one thing. Okay, why? Because the maternal the father side was considered to be a Vaishya, whereas the maternal side was the Lichavi, that is Kshatriya. So the Guptas, they were possibly of Kshatriya origin? No, they were generally of Vaishya origin. That is what is understood. So the first statement is wrong. You eliminate the first, you eliminate two things. Okay, then from this you know that second is correct. Okay, yes, their original kingdom, that is the first particular ruler of the Gupta dynasty. All right, so Sri Gupta and Ghatotkacha, they belong to the UP area. In one part of UP they had done, so that is going to be there. Then early Gupta coins and inscriptions, they have been predominantly found in Madhya Pradesh. If they have their principal settlement to be in Uttar Pradesh, how will their coins predominantly be there in Madhya Pradesh? Is there some logic there? Obviously not, right? So majoritarily it will be found in UP only, no? So that is why third is also wrong. So if you eliminate third also, you get the answer as B. So that is how you have to generally solve these questions. Okay. The next one. Which of the following regions were part of Samudragupta's conquest as per the Allahabad pillar inscription? Just forget the answers right now and just focus on this. Forget the answers right now and just focus on this. Okay, now see, according to Allahabad pillar inscription, which of the following? Now, when we talk about the Samudragupta, what do we know about Samudragupta is that the Samudraguptas, okay, if this is India at that point of time, all right, here, what can we understand here is that Samudragupta, he belonged to the UP area, okay. Samudragupta is extending his influence, and it is said that the northeast, they were under his influence. This area, south, okay, the central part of India, they were under his influence. Indonesia and the Southeast Asia, they were also under his influence, and they had sent a lot of gifts. So forest kingdoms of Vindhya's region, Vindhya region, it is in the central India, so yes, they were under his influence. Eastern Himalayan states and frontier republics. So because his kingdom was here, he had control over these areas. So wouldn't he have also a influence just on the dynasties that are above him? So obviously he would have had impact on them also. This is logic. All right. Western coastal kingdoms of Gujarat. Western coastal means here. Okay. So here, then if we are telling also this, just think of it. Here, if here they would have told extreme south, that means extreme coastal kingdoms of south, obviously he would not have influence there. Like that also, these are extreme western coastal kingdoms, so obviously he would not also have influence here. So that is why the third one is incorrect, and we have to find the correct one. So what is going to be the answer here? 1 and 2. Okay, so A is going to be the answer here. So that is what you have to think in that manner. What is going to be the 29th one? What is the answer for 29th one? What is the answer for 29th one, guys? Okay, so here when we talk on this, which of the following statements is correct about Chandragupta the second? Okay, so Chandragupta I, he was considered to be the real founder of the Gupta Empire, and Chandragupta II, that means the son of Samudragupta, the grandson of Chandragupta the first, he was the person who had expanded and who had consolidated this empire to its core. So that is going to be there. Okay, so here what do we understand is that he adopted the title of Vikramaditya. Alright, so you had to go with the titles, and I have always told you that you have to remember the titles. Chandragupta I took the Maharaja Adhiraja, then Samudragupta took Kaviraja, and he was the person who took Vikramaditya. He was also known, yes, he took the Vikramaditya. Then he made Ujjain the second capital of the Gupta Empire. Yes, this was it. He was defeated by the Shakas. No, he was the person who defeated Shakas. So the third statement is wrong, and you have to find the correct one. So here the answer is 1 and 2. So that is going to be A. A is the answer. The next one, when we talk, which of the following features are associated with the megalithic culture? Think of it, guys. Think on it. Okay, so here when we talk about the megalithic culture, so megalithic culture, what was the time period? Now, according to the current evidences that we have, I'm not talking about the latest excavations done by the Tamil Nadu government, but I'm talking about the current evidences that we have. We can say that from 600 BC till 1200 BC, there is going to be the megalithic culture in South India. When there was the Rigvedic culture in, sorry, when there was the Vedic culture in North India, there was the megalithic culture. Megalithic culture, it was basically the big stone age culture. Big stone age culture. Okay, so here it had a stone age. If it is a big stone age culture, that means it would have a stone age life. It would not have a urban life. So here what do we understand is that use of black and red pottery, red ware pottery. Okay, then there is going to means, see, I have told you, right? So black and red ware, it was also utilized by the Harappans at that point of time, and prior to Harappans also, whatever pottery was made during the Neolithic, even that was those types of pottery only. So even this is a stone age, so that is how, that is why this will be correct. Iron tridents associated with Shiva might be, why? Because iron was already discovered in the North India by 1000 BC, and maybe they would have used the iron tridents, and there was trading relations between the north and south at that point of time. Then there was burial of grave goods with the dead. So this is a very nominal thing. Yes, it would have been there. Advanced wet paddy cultivation. Advanced wet paddy cultivation, that means utilizing technology and all of those things. So they were stone age people. So if they are stone age people, will they have that advanced level of technology, wet cultivation, wet paddy cultivation? No. So if you eliminate it, the answer is going to be 1, 2 and 4. Okay, so B is going to be the answer. So in spite of having a limited knowledge on this, what can happen is that we can solve the questions in such a effective manner.